Alright, y'all, we got a new Explore With Us video, bro. This is wife discovers her husband's sick secret. Now, you know something is about to be real evil when it's on the Explore With Us main channel. So if y'all are new to the channel, subscribe right now. We about to check it out. Let's go.
Fugitive task force? What did I do? What could I have possibly done?
I may occasionally have the violent ideations or whatever.
Our missing person was also involved in those types of fantasies and violent ideations.
Oh, I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to play. I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
How did she say she wanted to die?
So he was like, it wasn't easy. You know, it wasn't like just one and done.
I barely even have interest in tying my wife up at this point because she's been through so much.
On October 13th, 2025, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is contacted for investigative assistance by Interpol regarding a missing woman who had flown from England to the U.S. before vanishing. The truth about what led to her disappearance is far more haunting than anyone expects, leaving investigators with more questions than answers.
I think it took her 2 years to talk him into helping her leave this world.
The following report is based on official police records, and some of the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. 32-year-old Sonia Exelby from Portsmouth, England had traveled to Florida on October 10, 2025, and though she booked a return flight on October 12th, she never boarded it. The last known trace of Sonia's whereabouts was a series of charges to her debit card on October 11th. These charges were to the company Silver Wolf's Roadside Assistance, owned by 52-year-old Dwayne Hall. On October 17th, with Sonia still missing, investigators are eager to speak with Dwayne. Utilizing aerial surveillance, the Marion County Sheriff's Office tracks down his vehicle and relays his information to deputies and agents from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Air 1 units on track. We got the vehicle. It's I-75 northbound. Just got on.
You gotta wait till I tell you, bud.
I thought
you gotta get lined
you
up.
said wait till you called out.
You're good.
Dwayne isn't alone. His wife Ginger is in the passenger seat.
His wife's name is Ginger?
His wife Ginger is in the passenger seat.
Yeah, ask her to get my ID on the center console.
You have a search warrant for your vehicle. I knows that this vehicle, with that tag number, was a search warrant for that vehicle. That being said, I'm happy to give you a free ride with whoever got the search warrant so you can help them and they can explain what the purpose of the search warrant is.
Number one, we're on the way to go take her up to her thing for those transplant stuff. Okay. What the hell? Is you gonna search here or what?
So that's all the information that I know.
They tell Dwayne that they will transport him so that he can speak to the person who organized the search warrant, and he agrees.
He's gonna go voluntarily up to CID.
Okay.
So if you just want to pat him down, search, make sure he doesn't have any weapons, and then we may have to take the wife as well, so she can arrange for a ride or something to get up to the hospital.
Yeah, okay. She's got to be for a bronchoscopy. She just had a double lung transplant.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
you
walk.
guys are really like this is tough.
All right. Go and face the car for me. I'm just gonna pat you on, make sure you ain't got nothing else.
Sorry, babe.
As they're seizing the vehicle, Ginger has been asked to get out as well, but she isn't opposed to getting into the back of the deputy's car with Dwayne.
I don't mind riding in with him.
Right thing. I don't know a lot about what's going on. Normally we don't. Normally we have everybody's stuff.
Go see there for me.
I'm more worried about her.
I know.
Cooperate with you, but
yeah. No, listen. Don't worry about her. We're not gonna put her out any kind of way. Okay, we're gonna figure something out. All right. Just watch your leg, okay?
Fugitive task force? What did I do? What could I have possibly done? Fugitive task force? What is going on? I haven't done anything.
I guess I got big problems.
It won't take long for Dwayne to discover if he does in fact have big problems. As he's transported to speak with investigators, deputies agree to give Ginger a ride to her appointment.
You can hear it?
Yeah, right there.
Dwayne is soon joined by an agent from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, also known as the FDLE, and a detective from the Marion County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, Mr. Hall. My name's Rebecca.
Oh,
You okay?
thanks.
You okay? Okay.
Hi, Mr. Hall.
Hello.
What's your first name?
As if you don't know. I don't like playing silly.
Okay, well,
I like to be direct. You have my name, or else I wouldn't be here.
Bro, who he talking to, bro? Who he think he is? He talking about I don't like playing silly. Whoa, what?
your first name.
As if you don't know. I don't like playing silly.
Okay, well,
I like to be direct. You have my name, or else I wouldn't be here.
Bro, who he
Would you
I-
like us to call you?
Dwayne is fine.
Dwayne is fine? Okay.
Wait, okay, well, I was just going to say because I honestly forgot it, so that's why I called.
Okay, I will accept that.
Though things are off to a somewhat rocky start, they remind Dwayne that since he came in voluntarily to speak with them, he's not being officially detained. While he's appeared bewildered by the situation so far, Dwayne was actually called by authorities twice already and been made aware that his transactions have something to do with a missing persons case.
So what's going on?
So you understand that I do need to just tell you your rights.
If you got to do
It's
my
checking
rights,
a
do
box.
my rights, okay? Check the
Yeah.
box.
It's checking a box.
He's read his rights and Dwayne agrees to speak. He explains that on October 11th, the day of the transactions, a woman called him and told him her car had broken down.
They called at night and they tried to run a card, and my card services kept declining it, so they kept going lower and lower on the amount. And the only thing she was saying that maybe made me paranoid and thought it was pretty sketchy. It was too quiet in the background for somebody that was broke down. I mean, for somebody that's broke down, it was way too quiet in the background. And she kept saying over and over again, "I swear there's money on the card. I swear, I swear, I swear." And of course I declined and I didn't go out there.
Records show that over the course of 10 minutes, Dwayne attempted to process 6 transactions for varying amounts, from $100 to $790.
Damn, bro. All these say decline, bro. All of these say decline, bro.
All of which were declined. In the same time frame, he ran a second card, and Dwayne was able to complete a transaction for $1,200. Both cards were for United Kingdom banks and belonged to Sonia Exelby, the missing woman. Dwayne, however, claims not to know who the woman was and that he never went out to help her with her vehicle.
Where were you, like, when you were having this conversation?
I was actually out in the other side of the rig.
Okay.
I was out there on a different type of job.
Okay.
I'd gotten hired. Now I ain't telling you anything about this because I signed an NDA for the client.
Okay.
Okay. But if it comes down to it, and we need that information, and we desperately need that information, I'll break that NDA. But the reason why the NDA was there is because there's a high-profile client that has cars for people like Travolta and that on his property, and doesn't want that all disclosed.
Despite the NDA, Dwayne reveals that the man he was working for was named Harold. He says he worked on a series of vehicles for him Friday night, stayed overnight at an Airbnb, and then worked for Harold all day Saturday, late into the evening. In an EWU exclusive interview, Ginger, Dwayne's wife, describes what he told her about that weekend.
Done a jump start for a customer that had a big garage full of really, really expensive cars, and it was going to be an all-night thing. He was supposed to oil change, battery change, and tire change, like over 50 cars, high-end, super expensive cars. That's what he told me. And so he was going to have to stay overnight to save on gas and all that.
She also shared why she believed Dwayne had been asked to speak with police.
He had told me that somebody had tried to use a stolen credit card to order a jump start from him because he was a roadside assistant, and I thought that's what it was about. He acted stressed, but I thought that was because of the card. The card, he was afraid of getting charged with fraud.
This concern wasn't the only troubling thing that happened that weekend. When it came to Harold paying Dwayne for his mechanic work, something else went awry.
So on on that weekend when these transactions and interactions with this individual were taking place, they disappeared. I didn't delete them.
Okay.
I literally have 3 calls listed for, I think it's Sunday. 3. It's either Saturday or Sunday. There's 3 calls compared to 20, 30 a day that come into my phone.
So did the calls come in and you were having those conversations and it wasn't logged, or you weren't getting calls at all?
Calls were coming in. They vanished. They vanished out of the call log. Text messages, emails, everything. Everything regarding and relating to that service that I did out there vanished, gone, like it never happened. And then I went home that Sunday, or I tried to go home that Sunday, but I was being followed.
How so?
I was being tailed.
Dwayne says that as he was driving home, he saw a vehicle following him and decided to go down a back road where he parked to wait them out.
I sat there and I waited for an hour, and they kept making passes on the main road.
While this may seem like a random detail, this specific area where Dwayne describes hiding would eventually be revealed to harbor a dark secret. Already, Dwayne's story has been filled with twists and turns, but he now adds a new element. He says on Friday, before he started the mechanical work, Harold asked him to do something.
But now we get to the worst part of the story that I'm dreading talking about altogether, because I have a really bad feeling about it again. Like I said, really bad. This thing went from I'm not paying any attention to it to really bad, in my opinion, because of everything that happened. He called me up. I was working in Gainesville, shift ended at 6. He called me up and he said, "Hey, I need you to go pick somebody up from Gainesville Airport."
Okay.
I picked somebody up from Gainesville Airport, female. Tried to make small talk with him. They told me basically, and I'm barely even paraphrasing here, "Shut up, I don't talk to the help."
Regardless of her manners, Dwayne says he drove the woman to Harold's where she got out and into another vehicle. He says he never saw her again. So far, in his version of events, the woman who called because her vehicle broke down and the woman he picked up for Harold are 2 different people. However, investigators know that the cards belong to Sonia and that the woman he picked up from the airport is also Sonia. They will eventually confront Dwayne, but for now he says he believes that the mysterious Harold may have something to do with their missing persons case.
What if there's a different person that goes missing every year that is related to that? Because that's up. That's up. And then there was a big thing, and then the phone call about money, and this, that, and the other. And we start connecting the dots like me and her did. What if this is some kind of underground thing where they get unsuspecting people, especially like Calvin told me she anyway? Calvin
is the investigator Dwayne spoke to prior to this interview.
What if she signed up for something and they predator these young women or men and then just they vanish?
Yeah, that's interesting. So
I mean, I've heard the worst. I mean, especially since he name dropped that. He name dropped that through the years that he name dropped like this, and they're making me sign an NDA. But he name dropped that he was storing vehicles for Travolta, Terry Bollea, the Hulk Hogan family.
Oh, okay.
And Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Family.
Oh, okay.
And vehicles for Travolta, Terry Bollea, the Hulk Hogan family.
Oh, okay.
And
the Hulk Hogan family, what is he talking about?
Tom Cruise.
Okay.
What if some kind of Scientology book behind the scenes and going and working on the cars is just a cover story?
To get you involved?
Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm nobody.
After allowing Dwayne to fully explain his suspicions, the investigators decide to reveal their own evidence, including something they know about Sonia. They still don't tell Dwayne her name.
No, I've been speaking with people who know her and know things about her, and we know that she was communicating with people over here and had the intention of coming over here to end her life. And we know that that was what this trip was about.
This is the reason that the authorities in the UK were so concerned when Sonia never boarded her return flight home. Court documents indicate that a year earlier, in 2024, Sonia had been planning to travel to the US to meet with individuals she met online in order to fulfill her wishes. That attempt was thwarted and she received treatment. Investigators also have another bombshell to drop. The transactions may have been what led them to Dwayne, but they aren't the only reason they want to speak with him today.
We also know that you were one of the people that were communicating with her.
So what was her screen name?
What does that matter?
I communicate with a lot of people.
Okay. Do you communicate with a lot of people about ideations?
We have a lot of, I communicate, I used to communicate with a lot of people that it was, and there was a lot of fantasy role play that happened there. But if you tell me your screen name, maybe I'll have a better idea what you're talking about.
Dwayne claims he hasn't had access to his account in months because he was banned for violating the terms of service.
So what kind of stuff did you like to talk about?
Hard bondage.
Okay.
I like hard bondage.
Okay. You think that's what got you
That's
banned
not, not what got me banned.
I was like, there's no way you got banned from...
It seems like somebody took offense to something I've said, like on a comment or something like that. And you can comment on pictures or posts or have a conversation in live feeds or whatever. Not live feeds, but comment feeds or whatever. And I think something there might have gotten banned because there's certain words that you're not allowed to use, and that list seems to be ever growing by the month. But like I said, I haven't been on there for a long time.
What are the words?
Basically anything violent.
Okay.
Anything violent or aggressive, too aggressive.
Like snuff type stuff?
Between snuff type stuff and other sort of violent stuff like that. I may occasionally have the violent ideations or whatever, but at the same time, it's better left on paper.
So the reason why I'm having this discussion with you is that our missing person was also involved in those types of fantasies and violent ideations.
Well, that somehow doesn't surprise me.
Right?
Especially if you're telling me that I actually had communication and she was actually communicating with me at one point or another. I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to play. I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
Yeah. And between consenting adults is absolutely okay, right?
Yeah, I mean, if like I said, there's a line. But yeah, to a point.
Yeah. So if she came over here with the intention of fulfilling some of those fantasies, bondage, violent fantasies, I'm not saying necessarily, but definitely violent fantasies, and then at the end of it, she wants to end her life.
If you're trying to put me in line with something like that, I'm going to tell you right now, it's been all about my wife since she damn near died. I have no interest in anything to do with anything like that with another woman. I barely even have interest in tying my wife up at this point because she's been through so much.
Once again, the investigators know something they have been withholding until this moment.
But we know that she was with you, and we know that she came over here to carry out this bondage, the fantasies, and ultimately to take her own life. We know all of these things.
The FDLE agent discloses that they have evidence that shows Sonia stayed at the Airbnb with Dwayne. With this revelation, Dwayne abruptly adjusts his version of events, now admitting she was with him on Friday and Saturday. However, he still doesn't refer to her by her name.
Weird.
Things, a lot of different things. We already talked about that to a lot of
Okay,
different
so we had a little bit of light choking or whatever,
Okay.
Just a regular kind of firm grip kind of every once in a while.
Talking about what?
So we had a little bit of light choking or whatever,
Okay.
Just a regular kind of firm grip kind of every once in a while, but
Light bondage.
Very, very light. Didn't even involve any ropes or anything like that.
Okay. So just the hands. Okay. Anything else? So you said light choking. So, and I know this can.
Right.
So, what does that mean to you?
It means I put my there.
Okay.
Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. I know we did not just hear that. I know like hell we ain't just hear that.
What does that mean to you?
It means I put my there.
Okay. What part of her?
Yes.
Every part.
Yes. She wanted it.
How'd she let you know that she wanted it? Because there's lots of ways that happens.
Do that.
She grabbed you
Yep.
with her hand?
Yep.
Bro, that shit ain't funny. He the only nigga laughing, bro. That is not funny.
And then her face.
And then
So,
her face? What does that mean?
like the whole thing.
In her interview, Ginger explains that she was aware Dwayne was talking to other women.
I knew he had other girls, quote unquote girlfriends, that he talked to online, but it was never like, because I was so disabled, I told him I was fine with it as long as he didn't lie to me about it. And so I knew that there were a couple that he was talking to like that, but there was never supposed to be anything physical. They were never supposed to meet in person. It was supposed to stay online.
According to official documents, Sonia left evidence on her computer indicating that she had made a plan and was carrying it out by traveling to the U.S. The investigators now discuss this plan with Dwayne.
So she talked about dying, having somebody maybe help her. What were those conversations like? How did she say she wanted to die?
She didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that. It became very apparent to deal with anything like that. Barely wanted to deal with her presence.
What did you guys talk about? Because again, everyone has the ability to change their mind, but there were conversations about it, even if it was in person.
Yeah, there was conversations about it.
So tell me about those conversations.
She said she'd tried many times, and she'd failed. And she said that that's a really beautiful state, and she couldn't think of a better place to end it all.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the extent of it. There was no real elaboration one way or another, except for the fact that it became very obvious that I was not about this life. I didn't want it. I didn't want the mess. I didn't want the scrutiny. I didn't want to be involved in any way, shape, or form at that point. I didn't even want to have sex.
Anything that you did with her that you recorded?
I deleted it.
Okay, tell me more about that.
I asked her. I told her that I wanted her to tell me what it was that she was there for.
Okay.
Now I wanted her to go into detail, and she basically just kind of locked up on everything. And I ended up deleting it because there was absolutely no use to me.
Despite deleting it, during a later search of Dwayne's phone, investigators located the disturbing video he recorded on October 11th.
I want you to tell me about why you're here.
Because I'm an awful person and I need to die.
Yeah, but why are you such an awful person?
I've crushed everyone who ever loves me. I've cheated on my partner. God, the amount of lied to everyone about this is overwhelming. Led on so many men because I didn't know how to just... Well, it was more just that I didn't have the guts to say no because I knew they probably wouldn't like me or... I don't know. People just always seemed overly nice. I was always an oddball.
You know, in case something like this happened, I could just be here. Yeah, you know.
But she didn't respond to you when you asked her.
She was not responsive very much, and I don't know what the problem was in that regard. I think she was just disappointed because I didn't want her.
In official documents, investigators noted that Sonia appeared subdued in the video, rarely looks up towards the camera where Dwayne would be positioned. becomes visibly upset with tears in her eyes, exhales deeply, swallows hard, and is very hesitant to answer Dwayne's questions. The video would reveal much more, but for now, the FDLE agent confronts Dwayne with a chilling revelation.
I know that she is not alive anymore. I know that. You know that. And I want to find her.
No, I don't know that.
I think you do.
I don't know that. I suspect that. I strongly suspect that.
That video, you took it to protect yourself, but you didn't really need to take that video to protect yourself because I know she asked you to do it. Does that make sense?
It does, but at the end of the day, I still don't know where it ended up. I still don't know what happened to her.
Though Dwayne is adamant, the investigators have uncovered disquieting evidence. According to court documents, an hour prior to picking Sonia up at the airport, Dwayne bought paracord, gun cleaner, 50 feet of rope, and a shovel.
It does not make any sense that right before you picked her up, you bought rope and a shovel and
Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense.
Help me make sense of that. Like, why would you buy a shovel?
It was actually a thing that I was already there. I was actually planning on doing it way, and the timing was just really retarded on my behalf because if I would actually thought about it, I realized how bad it was stupid I maneuver that would have been. And I actually absolutely did not think.
Why am I sitting here talking to you?
Because you want to find a missing person.
She has a name. What's her name?
You want to find Sonia.
I want to find Sonia.
This is the first time that Dwayne has confirmed that the woman he spent the weekend with was Sonia Exelby. Whether it's this acknowledgement or the other evidence, it seems that Dwayne has hit a breaking point.
So if I'm to follow along what everybody's saying here, I think that I can't afford a lawyer, but I think I'm going to need one at this point.
Okay.
Now, I have to be able to protect myself to some degree. And, you know, once I have a lawyer present, I think we can, and I confer with them, I think we can continue this.
Okay.
Following his request for a lawyer, Dwayne is left alone. However, he soon requests to go to the bathroom.
You want to use the bathroom, right?
Please.
So you are detained at the moment, based on everything we talked about, and we got some stuff we're following up on. So we're going to handcuff you in the front, and we're going to walk you to the bathroom.
After this small reprieve, they leave him to stew in the interview room, eventually checking if he'd like something to eat.
I need more than I need food. Mm-hmm. I need an update about my wife.
Okay.
I almost just said something just now.
We were on our way to take her to a bronchoscopy this morning when they stopped me. And then I was told she was admitted and...
Oh, so she's at a hospital.
Please.
Okay. See, I don't know anything. Okay.
I know.
Okay. I'll see what I can find out, okay? I'll go grab like a Whopper, no pickles and fries, and I will get an update on, see if I can get an update. I can't promise you anything, okay?
Please.
I'll see what I can find out, okay?
Thank you.
Despite his concern about his wife, Ginger was dropped off at the hospital for her appointment without issue. Following the delivery of his food, Dwayne appears to realize the severity of his situation.
You know, last time I tasted something. What does it feel like? My last meal.
Whether it was the hot meal or the hours on his own, Dwayne has made a decision.
I want to speak to Miller.
You want me to call him and come in here?
I want to speak to Miller.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Dwayne.
Hey.
Did you need us for something?
Yes.
What's
you got a minute? I'd like to talk to you. Well,
okay.
More you than you, I think.
Okay.
So it's good.
Well, what would you like to talk about?
I want to recant basically my entire statement.
You want to recant your entire statement?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't stand being a liar. I can't stand it.
Dwayne states that the entire story about receiving a call for service from a woman whose car broke down and the elaborate tale about Harold was not true, and that Harold does not exist. He claims this was all a cover story he devised with Sonia. He decides to retell his story, starting with him meeting Sonia online.
Bro, you about to tell another lie. Shit is pissing me off, bro. And then they gave this man some food, bro. Like, what? That nigga don't deserve no food, bro.
And her and I started talking and whatnot, and she was telling me about all of her stuff and things like that. So I started kind of mentoring her, and this was probably about 2 years ago. And I wanted to make her life better. I didn't want her. They got to a certain point this past year, sometime in the past year, where she actually offered me to help me with, I owe the IRS a lot of money. And she offered to help me with that. She offered to help me with that, and I said yes. And from there, I started mentoring her a little bit further. And she seems to be getting better.
Dwayne tells them that he owes almost $10,000 to the IRS. Yet Ginger explains that their finances had not been an issue.
Yeah, it was really nice. We were even able to afford. We moved into the suburbs out of the ghetto for the first time in my life.
However, in a video Dwayne posted to his YouTube channel, he discussed the concept of
this nigga got a YouTube. Hold on. His YouTube channel up there. This shit is crazy, bro. This nigga got 6 subscribers, bro. Hey, all 6 of y'all need to unsubscribe right now, bro. Do not subscribe to this nigga, bro.
debt.
We are struggling, being crushed under interest rates and debt that we can't afford to pay.
She was supposed to bring cash. She wasn't supposed to bring cards. She was supposed to bring cash. Because it's traceable.
They'll return to this subject, but for now, Dwayne then details what he calls mentoring Sonia.
I want you to work on this. I want you to do that, is what I was telling her. And I kept instructing her to have really good with her husband. Because it seemed like when I do that, she'd get a little better every time. She'd feel a little better. And then, of course, her husband was obviously appreciative of the attention. You know what I mean?
However, this didn't last.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. It worked, but it didn't work.
Just temporarily.
It was a band-aid. And we met, after a period of time.
Do you want to talk about what happened Saturday and Sunday?
I can't really talk too much about that, but you can ask questions, and if I feel comfortable answering them, I will.
Is it because of this promise that you made to Sonia?
Yeah.
Tell me. Explain to me how did Sonia ask you to make this promise? What did she ask you?
She did not want to be found. She did not want to be returned home. She wanted to be gone. Gone.
Okay.
So you feel like you would be breaking that promise if you told us where she was?
I can't confirm or deny that, but I can't break my promise about anything regarding that. I can't tell you where she went, and I can't tell you anything about it.
Since he refuses to discuss what happened to Sonia, the investigators instead focus on what occurred during their time together.
So you said that you had some light bondage. Can you tell me about that? Because sometimes bondage, there can be injuries.
There's probably a few bruises.
Okay.
At her insistence.
There's a reason the investigators are clarifying this detail.
What's this on your face?
You've beaten me.
Is that what you wanted?
You was one sick ass man, bro. This is fucking, bro.
You've beaten me.
Is that what you wanted? Is that what you asked for?
I guess literally speaking.
The rest of this disturbing video may hold the key to revealing what ultimately happened to Sonia.
So, smacking on it.
Front back.
Okay, smacking on.
Revealing what ultimately happened to Sonia.
So, smacking on it.
Front back.
Okay, smacking on the face.
She had me smack her face a couple of times.
Okay.
Around the same time that Dwayne recorded the video of Sonia, she attempted to reach out to an online friend through Discord. According to court documents, the message was long and at times disjointed, but Sonia wrote that the person she was with made her record 3 disclaimer videos and write a letter to her family because he thought it was funny.
She definitely made it very clear that she wanted really rough, aggressive way.
Okay.
Sonia's message goes on to say, "I'm sorry he keeps taking my phone. He doesn't trust me with it." She writes that last night was so bad and he's in the shower but I'm locked in and there's no signal in the middle of nowhere. I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew. Her message ends with her saying, "I'm so scared. I'm so broken and in so much pain. All I can do is lay here, and doing what he wants makes him respect me enough not to do the things I really hate. I'm trying to be quick, and my time's up." Chillingly, during this same time, Dwayne was also in contact with his wife and even called her on the evening of the 10th around 9 p.m.
He called me to say goodnight for like 5 minutes.
Though Ginger doesn't reveal anything else about this conversation, the message Sonia sent also came up in Ginger's interview.
Oh, and they're talking about her sending some message or something somewhere saying she'd changed her mind, going back and forth, a yo-yo, back and forth and back and forth. Because of fear. Fear is going to kick in. We are wired to survive. The fear is going to kick in, and you're automatically... It's exactly why you can't just hold your breath until you die.
Sonia's Discord message also indicated that the person she was with wouldn't let her leave, and they always had a gun on them.
Did she ever do anything during the time that you spent with her where it seemed like maybe she had changed her mind?
No. Actually, she got really upset with me because I quit. I was not into it whatsoever, and I quit. And I didn't want to sleep with her. I didn't want to play bondage games with her or anything. I just wanted to be done.
Dwayne then finally explains the truth behind the transactions, which led the investigators to him in the first place.
She still wanted to help me out financially, so she had me run the one card over and over and over again because she swore up and down that there was money on there. That's not a lie. She swore up and down that there was money on there, and then when we got down so low, she's like, "Your son, don't know why there's nothing on there." And then we ran the other party, and she was extremely short of what she promised. Only because I wanted to try to get out from the IRS, just to get that way too.
How much was she going to give you for the IRS?
About $4,000.
And she only ended up having the $1,200? And how did that, I mean, it seems to be pretty... Like, that's pretty impactful for you. You're expecting something that may cut your IRS debt almost in half.
Yep.
And then she doesn't have it.
It even further deteriorated the movie. As far as I know, as far as I understand, I think everything else has to do with the attorney.
Okay. I hear that. Thank you for calling us back and clearing the air.
With his new story established, Dwayne is once again left alone. However, the investigators return once again, this time with news for Dwayne.
All right, Dwayne. So, I want to let you know that I am arresting you for the credit card fraud, right? For charging that money and lying about charging that money.
I don't really understand what's going on right now.
You're being placed under arrest for credit card fraud for using Sonia's cards. Okay?
Okay. I'm a little confused about literally everything else, though. I feel like I don't know. I feel weird about the whole thing. It's a few things.
I know it's a lot. That's why I said process. Think about it. You can call me.
Some things ain't adding up there. You're charging me for credit card fraud.
Yeah.
More charges coming, right?
I don't know. I can just tell you.
More charges coming, right?
Pack him up. He the one did it. What the fuck? Like, are we serious? The fuck, bro? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Bro, more charges coming, right? You did it. Pack him up. That's all we needed to hear right there. That's all we needed to hear right there.
I don't know. I can just tell you, like, right now, you're going to charge you credit card fraud.
Okay.
Do you expect more charges coming? Or did you expect something different?
Yeah, but we're not going to go there.
I mean, is there something you want me to charge you with?
Boy, I'll smack that cup out your hand, boy.
I mean, is there something you want me to charge you with?
You impounded me. You impounded my vehicle. I have no idea what's going on with that. If I'm even going to get that back. My wife is, for all I know, stranded somewhere. Okay. I mean, credit card fraud. Okay.
I mean, if you want something else, let me know. What do you want me to charge you with?
Charge me with go home.
Despite this request, Dwayne is not allowed to go home. Though his charges would eventually be adjusted, for now he's arrested on charges of the fraudulent use of credit cards and unlawful use of 2 transmission devices and taken to jail. Though the investigators have claimed that they believe Sonia is no longer alive, they are still actively looking for her. This search brought them to Dwayne's home, where his family is less than pleased to see a police presence at their door.
Shame on you.
Shame on me for what?
Well, you were supposed to get back to me. And
I've been very busy.
I can imagine, but it's still
and here's the
shouldn't
deal.
have dragged
I'm not working a missing persons investigation. I'm now working a death investigation.
Oh my God.
Okay, so yes, I've been very busy.
Okay, I understand, but
I'm
still.
sorry, and I'm sorry. I understand that, but I'm here now. Okay, I'm here now.
Though they don't find anything of note at the residence, based on Dwayne's phone records, the Marion County Sheriff's Office conducts a search of the area where Dwayne had described hiding from the car that had been following him. There, they locate an area of disturbed soil and the remains of a woman. All she has on is a black bra and tan sandals with a white floral dress, matching the description of Sonia's dress, lying on top of the body. Fingerprint comparison confirmed the remains belonged to Sonia Exelby. During the exhumation, a label for a shovel matching the one purchased by Dwayne was located in the grave. The shovel was recovered from Dwayne's garage and, when tested, gave chemical indications for the presence of blood. The major DNA profile matched Sonia. Following Dwayne's arrest, investigators were contacted about his case, but not by Dwayne. Another inmate came forward after he had a series of conversations with Dwayne. He describes what he told him about his case.
He was in a business.
This is his co-inmate?
But not necessarily business, but he was in the business of like people who didn't want to live anymore. He would help them, kind of like assist.
A similar discussion came up in Ginger's interview.
Because back when I was sick, before my transplant, I got really, really bad for a little while. And we talked about it helping me end it because I didn't want to wind up a vegetable. It occurred to me just the other day, actually, that when Sonia started talking to him and started breaking down and crying and saying she can't handle it, she can't do it, she can't do it, I'm wondering if he saw me hooked up to all those monitors and all those machines just barely staying alive and miserable and in pain. And I'm wondering if maybe he just couldn't watch that happen again to someone he cared about, and he caved to helping her end it.
And this is how you wanted to die, right? You wanted to be beaten and made to suffer because you're such a piece. Say it.
I needed to be beaten and suffer because I'm such a piece of...
Good, good. You're not being forced to say that, right? So are you getting what you wanted? Are you pleased? Are you happy?
I think it took her 2 years to talk him into helping her leave this world.
In his interview, the inmate says that Dwayne did not seem concerned about his case and discloses that Dwayne told him he had a contingency plan.
It's like backup just in case he may have to get rid of something or like do something in case the case starts closing up around his neck.
Knowing that Dwayne had potentially set up a contingency plan, investigators took a look at his Facebook messages. There they can see that he sent his friend a photo that was later deleted with the message, "We'll need this back in 6 months if this storm passes over with no lingering fallout. Please, for the love of shadows, don't lose this box. These are very precious and valuable personal items." While serving a search warrant on the friend's home, Dwayne's friend revealed to investigators that he'd received a package from Dwayne containing an engraved knife and sheath that he'd purchased for him and a bracelet. He then sewed the knife, sheath, and bracelet into a small black fabric bag. The blade of the 7-inch knife was engraved with the words, "Dork Wharf, pointy end goes in the other guy." The friend explained that the engraving was him making fun of Dwayne's use of the Dark Wolf name online. In his interview, the inmate tells investigators that he asked Dwayne about Sonia's death.
How did she die? Now how he said it, where it made me believe it was a knife. Okay. Because he was like, to be honest with you, it wasn't like the easiest. Okay. I'm assuming that's a knife.
And how did you want to die? What was your chosen way to die? Kind of describe that. What have you been consenting to here today?
You mean the way that you're talking about killing me?
You consent to what kind of treatment beforehand that you feel like you deserved?
To be stabbed.
Yeah, that's what you want, but the last day or two, what has your treatment been? What did you ask for leading up to that?
I can't remember. We've talked about so many different ways.
A color-changing test was conducted on the knife recovered from Dwayne's friend. It returned chemical indications for the presence of blood. The DNA profile matched the profile from Sonia.
He was like, it wasn't easy. It wasn't like just one and done.
An autopsy determined that Sonia's cause of death was 4 sharp force injuries likely caused by a knife. When her body was first exhumed, investigators noted that she had 4 stab wounds on her left side and a curved placement between her back and under her breast. The manner of death was determined to be homicide.
Now you're being coerced? Are you being forced into this?
But he did tell me he was sorry, and he doesn't, I don't think he regrets it, because it's hard to watch somebody go through pain like that and to be too scared to go yourself. I can understand it. I believe it was honorable.
And he was like, no, I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. This was this woman's wishes.
He's not really the monster that everybody is thinking he is. I think he really actually cared about Sonia and didn't want to see her suffer anymore.
As he suspected, more charges were indeed coming. Dwayne Hall has now been indicted for murder in the first degree and kidnapping. He has entered a plea of not guilty, and the case remains ongoing.
Alright, y'all, man. This was sad, bro. I'm at a loss for words, bro. Oh my man. What the hell? If y'all are new to the channel, subscribe right now. Comment down below what y'all think I should react to next. If y'all are new to the channel, subscribe right now. I love y'all. Stay blessed. And we out here. See y'all in the next one.